Cheers, mate. 2 more, 1 more. Come across now, please. Nice with Andre at the apex. 1. Nice with Andre. On exit.
This is going to be a battle of the Kiwis. That's what Andrew Edwards was in for. Here comes Heimgartner. Gisbergen on the left. They're going to be right on top of each other down here. And Heimgartner sweeps on by. And Brock hustling his teammate here as well.
Race control all
Does he dive bombing?
Pit lane penalty drive through car 17 for an unsafe release.
So no surprise about that. Message that you heard on the race management channel. And he thought long and hard about it, Brock Feedman. So just for added pain, Will Davison tours the lane. That was almost the moment that could have unloaded Van Gisbergen into the tyre wall there down in turn 3 and 4. And that wouldn't have been a good outcome for the Red Bull Ampol team. But he got away with it. And Shane Muriel was there. He gave him a little bit of road and a little bit of room as they approached turn 2. 3.4 seconds was the time then for Shane Van Gisbergen in that stop. Such an emotional weekend, this one, for everybody. Final Supercars event at Pukekohe Park Raceway. And for the Jason Richards Memorial, it's already a very big part of this weekend. This is the moment I spoke of. So Brock's trying to stop it. Shane knows he's there. He gave him a car width, and then he held it tight and blocked the run for Brock. So nice racecraft by Van Gisbergen to understand where his teammate was, but also nicely played by Brock Fernie to not make contact. Would have been very easy there on that dirty side of the road to not be able to slow it enough. You can see the marbles and the debris. Greg Murphy has got a different name for it. We'll speak about that later. I laugh about it at the time, but Davison, as you said before, this is just, I mean, it's like a double penalty, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's nothing that Will can do about it other than just wear it. Just has to deal with it. Very frustrating.
Those sorts of events are going to unfold in your sporting career, and but it's always a shame when you've got a quick car. So this car well capable of winning the race, and that one got away from them. Now our leader is Chas Mostert. He hasn't stopped, nor has David Reynolds and Corley Jones. The first in the queue that has stopped is Cam Waters, so he's potentially on for a victory here. He's got 1.6 seconds over Heimgartner, and we've got a fast-charging Van Gisbergen out there to keep a very close eye on. So where does Mostert drop into all this picture is the curiosity. So 42 seconds is the gap from Mostert to Waters at the moment, but that's not really the key question. It's where Mostert drops in relative to Van Gisbergen and Feeney, who'll be right near those guys, maybe just behind them. That's right. I think it'll drop him in between, in behind, further down. I think further down. I think it's near Dick Squally. It's about it's a 46-second transit. The numbers are a tiny bit rubbery. It depends on what they do in terms of their stop time. But if you look at the 46-second mark from the leader at the moment, that's Anton. So maybe it's between Anton and Pi. And Van Gisbergen, I know this sounds like a broken record. You may have heard this once or twice before. He's got the fastest lap. Oh, massive moment for Randall. That was absolutely out of control, and he got back on the island again. Watch how sideways this thing gets. So he's out in the dirty stuff. There's now no grip. Now he runs out of black stuff, finds the grass, and then has to straighten it up and try to get back on without going off the road. Mostert did. David Reynolds now the leader. This is tight. This is tight. Heimgartner's trying to sneak up the inside, effectively for the lead. And if these guys fumble this, it could hand something to Van Gisbergen. Look how tight this is through the final corner. It's on. That's our top three effectively. You get to stop Macaulay Jones and David Reynolds, our leader. But when that's done, this is going to determine the podium for the final supercar race at Pukekohe. What a great way to finish this. But how's Van Gisbergen qualifying 8th? Look where he is right now. Yep, effectively 3rd. Well, and in with a chance here.
Contention to win. Yeah. So Van Gisbergen now on board, looking at Heimgartner.
Now, if he wins this thing, he will bring the house down.
Oh, no doubt.
He's got the fastest lap, so that's contributing to the points. And I can tell you, the place will erupt. It'll explode if he gets past Andre Heimgartner and muscles up with Cam Waters. And he is well incentivised.
Yeah, and he's got really good drive traction off that hairpin there. You can see him make ground on Andre. In fact, Andre's just got to be careful now because he had really good speed and he was actually half having a go at the back of Cam Waters. So he's got to make sure he's not in the mirror too hard. I know that sounds very difficult when you've got Van Gisbergen right there behind.
Reynolds and Jones have taken their stop. That means what we're looking at now is race lead. Cam Waters, it's officially 0.57 of a second to Heimgartner, then officially 0.3. So
This is a mistake.
this is why. So I wondered why it tightened up. So it was because Cam's toured the green stuff, and that brought everybody back together. That's the second Tinker car off, and down the inside, P2, Shane Van Gisbergen. This is on. The crowd is going to go berserk when he comes around over the top of turn 11 on this lap, because he is now 0.8 of a second behind Cam Waters, and he will want to win this race and the JR Trophy. Waters is going to have to perform some magic here. Check out the crowd.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? So Australia versus New Zealand. Ford versus Holden. The last time we'll see a Holden factory car running at this venue. Last time you'll see a Holden running in New Zealand. So a lot of emotion from a lot of people about the final fling here at Pukekohe Park. Now this is just a full-on arm wrestle. 10 laps remaining. Cam Waters, who's been one of the only guys that's been able to fend off Van Gisbergen through the course of the year, has to do some of that real driver stuff now. The young Australian, who is an absolute ripper. He drives the car very hard. He's only 28 years of age. Against Van Gisbergen, who's 33, the current champion and the leader. And he's got a Red Bull Commodore firmly in his mirror.
0.8 just turned into 0.67. He's closed the gap. He's pulled a few millimetres back on Cam Waters. And Waters has got a very big incentive to get the job done here as well. He is not going to give up without a fight. The last win for him was in Darwin back in June. He's been doing a lot of sprint car racing. Sam Potter, his engineer, watching inside the monster bunker.
Oh hey, are you watching this video from outside New Zealand or Australia and want to watch me race live? Sign up to SuperView to stream every race live and catch up on classic races from the past. Search SuperView and sign up through supercars.com or through YouTube memberships.
Andrew Edwards correspondingly down the road. That margin 0.61 of a second. He's just made another 6/100ths of a second. This is two top-level supercar drivers and teams at their supreme best. Nothing in it. It's now 0.5 of a second. He's reeling him in millimetre by millimetre. Van Gisbergen's got the lock on, and he is right now under the rear wing of this car. No wheel spin on exit, out of there in first gear. Anti-roll bar tweak. Bias change for the brakes. Turn 10. What's it like on the direction change? Pauses on the throttle. Progresses it gently. He's in fifth gear. Another little roll bar change. Another brake change. Another gear change. Sizer up for turn 1. He is one busy race driver out there at the moment. Turning in from 255 kilometres an hour, hovering around 200. He's got to pull all the pace of it when he gets down to turn 4 to just 95 kilometres an hour. Waters uses the exit curve out of turn 4. He's hunting for the last millimetres at the joint.
And looking ahead, that car's very good. That car of Cam Waters, the Monster Mustang, is very good.
But he made a mistake right there a couple of laps ago. And that incentivised Van Gisbergen big time. He cannot afford another little glitch. It is exactly 0.45 of a second. And they're all crossed up, and he's one wide again. He's under pressure. He may hand the lead to Van Gisbergen. They are going to run side by side
second, and Van Gisbergen is well and truly in this game now. Wow, the pressure. As you said, it was an unforced error. And he made the little mistake coming out of here on the previous lap. He's using too much of the exit curve. So Shane's closer this time. But the braking stability for Waters in this zone here was the original mistake. In the next hairpin was the mistake on the previous lap. Van Gisbergen is right in contention to dive down the inside. This is going to be a ripper.
Bit of wheel spin on exit there for Waters, and here comes Van Gisbergen to muscle it down the inside. They're side by side, and he's done him. He's sliced down the inside. Now they're side by side through the left-hander at 10. How do they resolve this? Is there space given? There's only a couple of now, and he's touched it, 11. And Van Gisbergen lifts the front and gives it a breather. So that could have been a bit of plane crash at Pukekohe, but they got away with it. Shane Van Gisbergen, absolute credit to you, sir. You could have caused the biggest shunt we've ever seen at Pukekohe just then. When Cam Waters turned down on him, he had the opportunity to wipe him out, but he gave him a hit, but he pulled out of it. When they bump here, that's okay, but this one right there, that should have been a massive shunt. Heart rates are up. Lots of incentive, everything to play for. Who's going to win the final supercar race at Pukekohe? Will it be Cam Waters for Ford and an Aussie? Will it be Shane Van Gisbergen, a Holt, a Kiwi? And have a look behind, because if the two guys up front misstep to any degree, Heimgartner could be the beneficiary. What an extraordinary exchange here, 1 lap ago. We've got 6 to go, it's about to be 5. Waters has signalled his intention. If you want this, you better run over the top of me.
Absolutely. And run down to your local TAB or wherever you put your bet on, because you might put your money on Heimgartner, because those two blokes will wipe themselves out.
Game on. Pukekohe, race 29 of the championship. Supercars at their supreme best. And it is only 1.4 seconds, Waters to Heimgartner. Everything to play for. Forget about the championship. Forget about the points. This is about pride.
And no way in the world will Van Gisbergen be nice next time. He was nice on the previous exchange. He will not be nice again.
This is where Waters is vulnerable, and Shane knows it. So I'm sure that Waters has tweaked that brake bias. They'll be talking to him on the radio from the Tickford bunker. Make sure the brake bias is perfect. Make sure that those anti-roll bars are spot on, and make sure that you do not make any mistakes. He's right at the ragged edge of grip out there at the moment, Cam Waters, and it looks to me as though Van Gisbergen's car's just that whisker stronger. It's officially 0.29. There are 4 laps to go. That's 12 kilometres of racing at Pukekohe in supercars. How is this going to be resolved?
This is a fantastic arm wrestle with all the great rivalries that we love. Ford versus Holden, Monster versus Red Bull, Australia versus New Zealand. Every element of what drives our sport you're watching right now. And this man right in behind. Where's the spot? I reckon the hairpin's still the spot.
But if he drives too shallow down the inside, Cam Waters, it makes him slow into, across and out of that corner, which he's got to be careful of. So he's actually battling out there on a higher, wider line. A few of the engineers told me earlier in the weekend that the inside line there is pretty chopped out. So Waters actually running it up high, and he's maintaining the margin. He's actually stretched it by 0.2 of a second. It was 0.2, it's now 0.4, and we now have 3 laps to go. 9 kilometres.
Kiwi fans cannot sit down. They're all standing up. They're all celebrating the performance of this man who's come from 8th on the grid to be battling for the lead. The exchange at the final corner was as wild as you would ever see. The consequences here are severe.
He's a bit weak at the end of the back straight relative to Shane. and he's not totally hitting the apexes, but he's almost sacrificing them now to keep the rolling speed of the car up. Now he's under pressure. He's got Van Gisbergen crawling all over him at the moment, and so Shane goes high. If he can get round the outside, he knows he can displace him at turn 10. He goes for the crisscross out the other side. He looks to try and apply some better traction and drive out there. He's up to the outside of the Mustang at turn 10. Now it's around the other way. Is there courtesy? And Van Gisbergen takes the lead in New Zealand in the final race.
And he immediately blocks. He immediately moves it over to disincentivise Cam Waters. Perfect execution of that pass. Cam Waters had to cover. When he did that, the crisscross worked perfectly for Van Gisbergen. And the superstar Kiwi is leading the final run at Pukekohe.
We're inside 2 laps remaining. Is there anything left in the tank for Cam Waters? Has he got anything in reserve to throw a punch back in the other direction? He is not giving up. He looks down the inside to try and force the line. There is exactly 0.3 of a second between them. They've flipped around the other way now. Van Gisbergen's been Houdini this afternoon. He's wriggled out of the shackles from position number 8 on the grid. He now leads, and very shortly it'll be 1 lap to go. We've got 1.1 seconds covering the top 3 cars, and what an exclamation mark to put on motor racing at Pukekohe.
Could not be better. The best exhibition we could possibly put on. The supercars say farewell to this unbelievable venue. We love this place. It's fast, it's wild, and they have turned it on today.
Turn 4 for the very last time. He's got a margin of 3/4 of a second. He's got it stitched. Shane Van Gisbergen is going to win this race, assuming no errors, after an unbelievable drive. And this is going to take him to 18 victories in 2022, equaling what Scott McLaughlin did several years ago. So it's a record-breaking year for Van Gisbergen. You can see the sparkle in his eyes. He knows what he's achieved out there. He has fought tooth and nail from position number 8 on the grid. From row number 4, he lines it up at turn 10 for the last time. Sweeps through here. The last metres of supercar racing and of professional motorsport at Pukekohe. Shane Van Gisbergen wins in New Zealand. Farewell, Pukekohe. We have loved the ride.
Well said, Neil. Have a look at the elation, the emotion from Van Gisbergen. And he won't be the only Kiwi with tears in his eyes. It won't just be that team, it's certainly that man there. The king of Pukekohe, Greg Murphy, who's won 9 races at this venue, has tears in his eyes also. The Van Gisbergen family, they'll be doing the same. What an unbelievable result for New Zealand motorsport and for the Van Gisbergen family.
And 3 times the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy winner now.
Yep.
Shane Van Gisbergen. There's your top 3 superstars this afternoon. Van Gisbergen, Waters, Heimgartner, 1.6 seconds in the end. I did not think it would be possible for Van Gisbergen to win that race from 8th on the grid.
Well, if you put it in perspective, the Will Davison issue was a big factor, wasn't it? And the drama around that pit stop was pretty cruel for Will Davison, as the two of them were battling for the Jason Richards Trophy. But as it turns out, the winner this afternoon on home soil for the last run is the superstar Kiwi, our champion and defending champion, who's now equalled, as you said, the Scott McLaughlin number for 18 wins in a year. Wow, have a look at the crowd.
How far and wide do you reckon the bits would have been scattered if Waters and Van Gisbergen went on with that?
That was going to be the biggest shunt we've ever seen here.
Watch this. Actually, we're just going to listen and record this. fans are cheering.
Yep, and deservingly so. What a great New Zealand sporting moment for this young man who's dominated supercar racing in the recent past. Could not have driven better this afternoon. And against all odds, from 8th position on the grid, able to win the final event. It's a fairy tale. There was no way at the start of this race that I thought he was going to be able to do that.
It's a double smoke Shane van Gisbergen driving into the Puke victory lane. And for sale, one set of slightly worn out Dunlop hard tyres. Only 119 kilometres, or maybe less after the pit stop. So, van Gisbergen gets it done. Andre congratulates him. Fantastic response, everyone. And a very special moment about to unfold from one Kiwi superstar to another.
This, my friend, is an absolute pleasure. The king is dead. Long live the king! That is unbelievable, man. I don't even know what to say to you. What did you draw from to get that done?
I don't know, bit of you, bit of JR, bit of the crowd, like, unbelievable. From 8th, I didn't think we could do that, and things were playing out, and the car was amazing. We didn't change much, and then I just didn't give up at the end, just kept throwing it at it, and Cam had me pretty good, and I couldn't get him, and then next time I wasn't lifting, so.
What about these guys? What about everybody here who's turned up, mate? There's your family over there. Just come and finish up, mate.
Oh, sorry.
What a race. I mean, the battle with Cam. Yep. I mean, huge respect. Yep. Massive, massive respect. The moment here, we thought you had it, and then he just kept racing you. Yep. The move, it was the save of the century, and you backed out of it. It was just phenomenal. At that moment, were you sure you were going to be able to get it done later on, or would you thought that was it?
Oh, I didn't give up. Like, I knew he was going to be the hardest guy to get past, and he was doing all the right things, but making some mistakes as well. So I just kept moving around in the mirror, and yeah, unreal.
This is the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy for you again, mate.
There you go.
How proud are you? Well done. Cam Waters, mate, I saw your face when you got out of the car. You were obviously disappointed. You tried absolutely everything there. That was an absolute valid and just an incredible fight. Unfortunately, the Kiwi got it done today.
Yeah, I threw absolutely everything at it. And yeah, I knew Shane was fast, but yeah, just awesome to be able to put on a show for all the crowd here. They've turned out in massive numbers, and it's been absolutely incredible to be here for the last one. And I guess it's a little bit fitting that a Kiwi won the last one here, but yeah, we'll go on to Bathurst and we'll try and win that.
Absolutely. Hey, it was one little mistake. You got down to turn 5, and that was obviously pretty costly because it allowed these two guys to get on the back of you. What happened down there?
Yeah, just locked the front. It was real weird. My car's been awesome under brakes, not locking fronts at all, and then that race I had a bit of front locking, and once you lock it once, it wants to keep locking, and yeah, I was a little bit wounded at the end there, but it is what it is. We're got heaps of points this weekend, and we've got a fast car, and it's the big one next, so we'll go win that.
What about that moment coming up over the hill there? I don't think I've even seen anyone ever come back from that much opposite lock at any race car coming up there. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I do a fair bit of that opposite lock stuff for the Speedway, so I think that come in handy, probably saved me, but it's awesome racing Shane. You know, he always has 100%, throwing everything at you, and, you know, there's nothing left in reserve, you know, each way, but it's always fair. So, yeah, awesome day today. Racing him, awesome to be part of, you know, the Pukekohe for the last time, and awesome to be in New Zealand with all these amazing fans. Yeah,
give it up for Cam Waters, everybody. Wow, this is amazing. Yesterday, podium here. You're on second on the podium. Andre Heimgartner today finishing off this amazing weekend with another one. It's not a win, but I'm sure for you it feels very close to it, and you must be very proud.
Yeah, 2 Kiwis on the podium. Yeah!
That's the stuff.
That was awesome. When I just couldn't quite keep up, I was gunning for Shane. Come on, we need to get this last win here. But just, yeah, lots of emotions. Was trying to, fight it before the start of the race, and just happy that we're able to be amongst it and get a podium. The guys at Brad Jones Racing just done an unreal job, and I think this is sort of a dream for me, dream end to Pukekohe.
Mate, again, let's just talk about that BGR team. They have just given you the best pit stops. And again, they set you up yesterday. They set you up again today. What do you feed these guys in Albury?
Just hard work and determination. I think they're, they try so hard, and the amount of practice they do and everything like that. It's just a credit to them, that we get 2 good results this weekend, and mainly because of them and also having car speed. So it just shows you that those pit stops are real important.
Mate, I'm so proud of you. It's such a great, amazing job. Congratulations, everybody. Andre Heimgartner.
Well done, Greg Murphy, with our top 3 drivers in the interviews down there in the Pertec victory lane. Shane van Gisbergen, what a story today. Cam Waters and Andre Heimgartner. And folks, we've deliberately put the cars up there on the outside of the final turn at 45 degrees as a very special supercar thank you to Pukekohe and to each of you that have come out, and for everybody watching at home in New Zealand, in Australia and around the world. And a special moment, 59 years of very high quality motor racing at this unbelievably special venue, and it will close in 2023. There are still some events to unfold, but this is it for us in supercars, and what special memories today, and what a story from 8th on the grid to be able to win that race, Shane van Gisbergen. That was pretty special. No matter who you barrack for, no matter who you love and hate, no matter what the story, you have to dip your hat to what you saw out there today from all 3 of those drivers that have made it onto the podium. Bearing in mind it was only 1.6 seconds covering Shane, Cam and Andre. That is supreme motor racing. Well done. Brock Feeney deserves a shout out here as well for finishing up in 4th position, and he gave Shane a rattle there at one stage. And what about Anton De Pasquale and Dick Johnson Racing even getting that car out there, followed by Chaz Mostert, Scott Pye, David Reynolds, Nick Percat will be reasonably satisfied to get back in that top 10. He'll want more, but at least that's solid progress. Tim Slade in 10th, and then further afield, James Golding, Mark Winterbottom, Fullwood, Holdsworth, Kostecki, Pither Jones, Randall, Kostecki, Smith, LeBrock, Davison. What a story for him today with a quick car. He will be very disappointed. Hazelwood and, of course, James Courtney with a very, very damaged car. But, folks, this is going to be something pretty special on the podium. Let's enjoy.
Oh, Crompo, it's amazing down here in New Zealand. How good was that? Oh, yes. The atmosphere is amazing. It's now time for the podium for race 29 of the Repco Supercars Championship at the ITM Auckland Super Sprint. In 3rd place for R&J Batteries Racing, it's Andre Heimgartner. In 2nd place for Monster Energy Racing, it's Cameron Waters. From today's winning team, it's Andrew Edwards. And presenting your winner for Red Bull Ampol Racing, it's Shane van Gisbergen. Presenting today's 3rd place trophy from Tartaki Auckland Unlimited is Chris Simpson. Presenting today's 2nd place trophy, and it's great to have this legend here, it's Kenny Smith. Thank you, Kenny. Presenting the team's trophy today for Repco New Zealand is Elizabeth Cox. And presenting our 1st place trophy from our naming rights sponsor, ITM, is Darren Hughes. And ladies and gentlemen, to present the prestigious Jason Richards Trophy awarded to our best performed driver this weekend, please welcome Jason's parents, David and Pauline Richards, to present the Jason Richards Trophy to Shane van Gisbergen. New Zealand, Pukekohe, it's been an amazing ride. That is your race 29 Auckland Super Sprint podium. Let's bring the house down.
A very special moment for Shane van Gisbergen and for the Richards family. For both those additional drivers up there, and also for Andrew Edwards. Isn't he experiencing something unique this year? 18 victories in 2022 in the Repco Supercars Championship for van Gisbergen. Third time the winner of the Jason Richards Trophy, and it was an emotional Shane receiving the trophy up there. He's extended his championship lead. He is going to be the champion in 2022. There's no doubt about it. Mathematically, it might not be totally possible just yet, but he is blazing.